All right, guys, so it is that time of year once again where the world's strongest man hype train is beginning. It's always just after the Arnolds we start looking at the next big major, and of course, that is the world's strongest man. The Reddit is already buzzing with conspiracy and conversation and debates and all of that fun stuff about what we want to see at World's Strongest Man this year and what we don't want to see at World's Strongest Man this year. And today, before any of the events get officially revealed or anything like that, I just want to make a video about what I want to see from purely a fan's perspective at World's Strongest Man 2025. I want to share my thoughts, as outlandish and as crazy as they might be. I just want to talk about what I want to see from World's Strongest Man 2025. And hey, perhaps if anyone going to World's Strongest Man or indeed running World's Strongest Man ends up watching this video and can make some last minute changes to help appease me, that would be awesome, but no one's going to do that. I'm just here to share my waffle like I so often do on this channel. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's talk all things World's Strongest Man. Now, before we dive into the monster that is World's Strongest Man 2025, I just want to bring up a statistic to you guys that I have been looking at on my channel, and it is the classic percentage of people who watch this channel that are subscribed or not. And I'm not going to waffle on about it too long, but I do want to say that these pro strongman discussion videos do the best on my channel, and over 70% of people who watch the channel don't actually subscribe to keep on track of what I'm uploading. And I know the training videos might not be what you guys want to watch, but if you do come here for the pro strongman discussion, please don't just watch the video without subscribing. Go down below, click subscribe, and then you'll be able to keep up to date for exactly when I post a new pro strongman discussion video. And of course, if you comment down below as well about a video idea or something you might want me to talk about, then the likelihood is I'm going to do it. We're a very small channel. I reply to every single comment. So if you want to become a part of that community, go down below, click subscribe. It'll help me out massively. But without further ado, I won't hold you guys any longer. Let's talk World's Strongest Man. So as I mentioned, this video is not going to have any real structure. It's just going to be me waffling about things that I want to see at World's Strongest Man. And now, obviously, the big one that is on everyone's minds is we want to see it live. We want to see a live stream. We want to watch it as it happens. And, you know, that's not going to happen this year, is it? So let's just get that out there right now. We want a live stream, but we haven't heard anything about it for this year. So I don't think we're going to get one. I highly doubt we're going to get one, but perhaps we can get an absolute hero on Instagram Live again to share that for us. But yeah, I just wanted to get that one out the way at the start, because obviously that is the big want on everyone's minds that unfortunately I don't think is going to happen. But some things that might happen are the things I'm going to talk about next. Obviously, the athletes have the events already, and I've seen some rumors circulating online about people who know the events. But me, myself, I haven't heard what the events are. I have absolutely no idea other than what's being speculated, but I've not seen anything concrete. But the main thing I want to see from the World's Strongest Man events this year is just entertainment. I want to see some fun events. I don't want any filler events. I don't want a stone walk. I don't want a grip hold. As cool as a grip hold is to me to do, because I love doing grip, to watch, and at the world stage, I don't think it belongs. I'm more than happy to see it at a Giants Live, at a lower level show, but at World's Strongest Man, I don't think we should be determining who is the strongest man in the world based on a grip hold, a front hold, a stone walk, that sort of thing. I want to keep it pure strongman. I want strength-based events that are entertaining to watch and not just who can hold on to a thing the longest. Now, the big one that I do want to see is I just want to see a squat back at World's Strongest Man. The World's Strongest Man globe squats have always been one of my absolute favorite events. This huge, massive axle on their back with these huge globes squatting for as many reps as possible. And I know we haven't seen it in a long time, and I know squats are a very, very difficult thing to get right, get fair, but that's strongman. Just get the squats down to a height. If someone's a bit high, it doesn't really bother me. I know it bothers people on the Reddit, and I know it bothers people online, but I think the strongest squatter is going to win those events no matter how you engineer it. So I want to see a squat back at World's Strongest Man. As I said, I have no idea what any of the events are, and I've not seen any rumor of a squat. I just want squats to be back because it is one of my favorite strongman events, and I want to see it in the final. I want the top 10 best guys to go head-to-head on a squat where it might really matter. Obviously, in the heats, every event does matter, but there sometimes gets to a point in the heats where a certain guy will know they're safe and not have to push hard on an event or two in the heats. And I don't want to see that for the squat. I want to see it in the final. I want to see it make a difference. Now, speaking of the heats, I do want to see the Stoneoff take a vacation and never return. And this has been heavily rumored to be the case, that we're not getting a Stoneoff this year. And I think that is the way to go. The Stoneoff for so many years has, yes, been a really entertaining thing for television, but in terms of finding the strongest man in the world, the Stoneoff gives certain people a very, very unfair advantage. Like someone like Tom Stoltman, he's fantastic at World's Strongest Man. I don't think there's any reason to believe that he wouldn't win it anyway, but it does give him the ability to coast the heats a bit, knowing that he's one of the best stone lifters in the world. You're going to coast through. And I think for some people like Bobby Thompson and other guys, but Bobby's the one that comes to mind. His weakness is at the stones, but he is phenomenal at other events. And there have been times where he's made the Stoneoff and just not made it through. And there's been a few other cases of that. And I know the general consensus amongst fans is that the Stoneoff is something that should be left behind. I have no problem with seeing Atlas Stones in the heats, but I think everyone should have to do them. I think they should count towards the overall total. And I think at the end of the day, the top two guys in the group, regardless of third place, regardless of anything, should just go through to the final. I think that's the fairest way to do it. And I don't like the final hinging on this one event that is the same every year and has distinct advantages for certain people. Like, depending on your build, stones can be really, really easy or really, really difficult. And I think we should mix up who we're giving that advantage to every year. So hopefully the Stoneoff has died a death, as it has rumored to be, because I'm sick of it. Now, sticking with the group stages and the heats, the one thing that I really want to see this year that is a tough ask, and I want to see it every year, and they've been getting better at making this a reality, but I just want to see fair groups. I want to see groups that are fairly weighted, fairly seeded. I don't want to see a group of death. I don't want to see an easy group. I want to see as fair a group stage as possible, essentially. And with a reduced lineup of 25 athletes, we really truly have the 25 top dogs in the world at the minute. So I think that really any group that you make will end up being tough. It'll end up being a group of death. I don't think we will see any particularly easy groups, but what I don't want to happen, for example, is have like Mitchell Hooper, Austin Andrade, and Lucas Hatton all in the same group. Like, that would be ridiculous in my opinion. It might happen, but that would be a very, very tough group, and I think that there's more than enough guys there to make the groups fair. So I think if the groups are as fair as they possibly can be, that's fantastic. I don't want to see anything that would make me think that was an easy group, that was a group of death. That is sort of, where I sit on that. And speaking of the groups as well, the last couple of years we have seen the groups be announced on live streams, and more often than not, those live streams have not gone very well. So this year, I want to see a really good group announcement live stream that everyone can come together in, react at the same time, and find out at the same time. I don't want to see it cutting out. I don't want to see it dying. I don't want to have to find out the groups from Mitchell Hooper. I want to see a really cool group reveal live stream. I think World's Strongest Man have the potential to make the group reveals be something really spectacular, some really cool graphics, really cool announcements, have the guys brought up on stage or something. It could be really, really cool. It's just, I'd love to see them execute it in a really, really good way. So it's the one bit of the competition that we get to see live. So please make it worthwhile. So that is sort of everything that I want to see from World's Strongest Man in terms of the setup, the groups, the events, that sort of thing. And now I'll go for a bit more of like what I'd love to see as part of the competition, what I want to see happen, who I want to see do well, that sort of thing, which obviously no one has any control over, but it's just sort of the whimsical stuff that I would love to see happen when we are refreshing the spreadsheets and going through watching World's Strongest Man as best as we can. Now, I think it's pretty obvious to say that the favourite going into World's Strongest Man this year is going to be Mitchell Hooper. World's Strongest Man last year is the only competition he has lost since then, basically. He's not lost anything else. He has only lost World's Strongest Man last year due to a really, really in-shape Tom Stoltman and an unfortunate mishap with his hands. But this year, Mitchell Hooper is coming in, as I said, the heavy favourite, with a few guys nipping at his heels. But what I want to see from the World's Strongest Man final this year is I want to see some battles. I want to see people pushed to their max. I don't want to see Mitchell Hooper able to skip the last event, and I don't think we will. I really don't think we will. I think that it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. There's going to be a lot of guys who have their eyes set on Mitchell Hooper as the man to beat. A lot of guys coming in wanting their chance to win World's Strongest Man. And I think that even though in a lot of fans' minds, a lot of athletes' minds, there are other shows in the calendar that do surpass World's Strongest Man in terms of determining the strongest man there is, the level of the events in terms of the sport, that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, the World's Strongest Man title, being able to call yourself the World's Strongest Man, has the most financial and popularity benefit to it. You can see that people like Tom Stoltman, Eddie Hall, Mitchell Hooper, when they have won World's Strongest Man, they have gone on to use it to build a platform, to become well known, and to earn a crap load of money. And I think for a lot of these guys coming up through the sport, that is still a goal. I mean, everyone at the end of the day wants to put food on the table, and winning World's Strongest Man, if you use that title correctly, is going to be the show that allows you to do that. So I really expect to see some proper battles going into this. And whether it's battles on individual events or battles overall, I just want to see people pushing each other. I want to see people working their asses off to become the World's Strongest Man. I don't want it to be a rep fest. I want the events to be suitably heavy, and I want to see the athletes suitably work, because at the minute, the depth of talent in strongman is some of the best it's ever been. And by that, I mean the top 25 guys are the top 25 guys. There are a few guys missing so far. There are a few guys that we could switch in and out. But in terms of World's Strongest Man and the athlete lineup, there is nobody on that lineup that I say doesn't deserve to be there. There is no one who is not at the level of being able to compete at World's Strongest Man. And in years past, we have seen that, where we see guys and we know they're sixth in the group. They're not going to do anything. But this time, there are people who can upset on various different events. There are people who can beat each other. Obviously, the top 10 in the world are the top 10 in the world, and they are a league above everyone else in terms of the top 25, and we can sort of somewhat predict who we think is going to make the top 10, but every year there are surprises. But what I want to see is, I want to see a really tough final with people battling, but I also want to see every individual event be a tough battle. I want to see people get in between people. I want to see people cause upsets. I want to be entertained, god damn it. And lastly, this is the really tough one to sort of say, and I know it's very unrealistic for just any strongman show in general, but I am just begging that we don't see any major injuries. I know that we are likely to. I know that it's something that happens pretty much every strongman show. Someone gets injured, but I'd just love it if there was only people getting a few niggles, maybe some cramps. I don't want to see any biceps detached. I don't want to see any Achilles go, anything like that. I want to see a competition, a World's Strongest Man, where everyone stays healthy, which I know is probably the hardest ask behind a live stream of this entire video, but it would just be amazing to see, and I'm just hoping, for the athlete's sake, that everyone stays healthy. And on that sort of conversation topic, I guess the last point I want to make for this video, which is sort of an obvious one, I just want to see the refereeing be consistent. I don't care about soft down calls in general, to be honest. A lot of people get up in arms about the fairness of it. As long as the referees are consistent, that's all that matters. As long as one athlete doesn't have to hold a dumbbell for 3 seconds and one instantly gets the down call, as long as they're all either instantly getting the down call or all being made to hold it, I don't care. I just want the refereeing to be consistent, to be solid. And I just want a competition without controversy. It's just all I want. I mean, the Reddit, most of the time, is a fantastic place for strongman fans to congregate, but whenever there is controversy, there are just some of the most stupid opinions put in there by various different people. And I'm not going to say which side of the fence I sit on in a lot of the conversations, just because I just don't think it matters at the end of the day. At the end of the day, we're a very, very niche sport. We get entertained 90% of competitions. One little bit of controversy in every competition is going to happen. I just don't think it matters that much. Now, obviously, if it matters to the point where if someone got given a down signal that was so clearly not right and they went on to, beat everyone else just because of that down signal, I guess it could be annoying. But every time we've seen a dodgy down call, it has been the case that it's either not had any effect over the competition, or it's the sort of case where, yeah, if they were made to hold it for 2 seconds longer, they would have got it. I can't remember the last time I saw a down call that was so egregious. In fact, I can remember the last time I saw some bad down calls, and it was at World's Strongest Man, and it was the max dumbbell. I think that could have been done a lot better, but hopefully they've seen that feedback as well. And if we ever see a max dumbbell again, indeed, if we see it this year, that will be sorted. But I just want a nice, fair, solid competition. I'm sure all of you guys do. And the one event, if I could choose what event is at World's Strongest Man, I get told, Toby, you get one event that you get to put in World's Strongest Man. It is going to be a heavy ass squat for reps. So hopefully when the events get revealed, that's in there. I actually don't know. Like, genuinely, I have no idea what the rumors are. All I've seen is a couple of things like the stone off being gone and a couple of heavily rumored events, but squat's not one of those that I've seen. So I just love to see it. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what events you guys really want to see at World's Strongest Man. I mean, who knows? By the time this video comes out, they could have been revealed and this could have all been for nothing. But I thought I'd get on here and just sort of waffle a bit about Worlds and what I'd love to see. So thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, if you're part of that 70% that aren't subscribed, go down below, click the button and become part of this little community over here. The coverage of World's Strongest Man in the build-up and all the other competitions that follow will be popping off over on this channel. I will do my best to make videos as often as possible. If you want to see any videos, go down below, comment them down below, and I will likely get to them. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I am hyped for Worlds. I hope you are too. I'll see you in the next one.